Hey, Tom. So you want to share something today?
Yeah, this ongoing saga of the real estate state of real estate in Canada, like we called it back a while ago, said there's basically a housing crisis in Canada, and I'm hearing more and more people call it that now. So this is a furtherance of that. We're going to play I don't know if you've been to Market Media. He's a Canadian fellow that decided to exit stage left and move to Panama, but he still reports on Canadian news, and he talks a lot about the housing market. And this is a clip from Luke Smith from Market Mania. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. He's got some great news. And it's to do with, well, you'll see. Let's just play it.
All right. Well, somehow, hon, you've disabled my screen sharing.
Okay, well, let's fix that here. Hold on. All right, let's play it. Rookie
Got it.
move.
Ah, there we go.
First day out with the new Zoom.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
So I want to show you this because basically the orange line here just shows the months of supply in Phoenix. And, they went from a low in 2005 all the way to a high in January 2008. So think about how long that took to change. It took 3 years, but you went from, like triple essentially the supply was even before it in the early 2000s. You went to nearly triple that. And it just goes to show how quickly things can change. And if you look what happened, even when the supply was shooting up here, prices were literally holding. They weren't doing anything. They were holding for literally 2 years whilst people were in denial. I mean, even you got a double top. So home prices went down and then they went back up and even hit new highs. So this just goes to show you the psychology of a housing market, because all these markets, all these financial markets where people are speculating, it's all based on psychology.
All right, then.
Did you want to talk about this clip before we?
Yeah, let's just leave the clip up and maybe reiterate if you guys didn't catch his arrow pointing there. So you may not catch my arrow pointing either, but if you look down here at the bottom,
Mhm,
and you see the orange line where it hits the bottom here around 2005. Now,
mhm.
this is going back to the prelude to '08. So what we're trying to show here is a lot of people are questioning, well, how come real estate hasn't crashed? How come real estate hasn't crashed? How come real estate's still high? How come there's record, prices still? And the reality is it's such a big market that any big market like that takes a long time to flush out. Like he said, it's all psychology, right? So for people to first realize it, because first of all, people haven't realized what's happened yet. They think everything's kind of going back to 2019 or 18. Well, it's not. It's a different world. And so this is showing that. So if you look down here, it shows that the supply started to increase at 2005 and it went
Yep.
up this orange line. I don't know if you can see both of my mouse or Virginia's mouse there, and it goes up, but you see that the prices stayed stable here in green and even did a double market top. But then at a certain point, about 2 years in at '07, it just capitulated and you see the green line go straight down.
Yep.
And so I suspect that we're about here at the bottom end of that double top right now, if I was to make a parallel, because we're about a year and a bit in since the first uh, rate hike, struggling for that word, rate hike, in the central bank lending rate. And of course, the mortgage rates have to follow. So because it's such a big market, it takes a lot of time for people to A, realize that things have changed, B, make decisions around that, and C, act on it or be able to act on it. There's a lot of people in real estate right now that are basically trapped in a
Yeah.
scenario where they can't sell,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know? And I'm no real estate expert, but I know a little bit about lending and money and interest rates and stuff. And what I see here is just this failure to recognize where we're at in the climate, because it appears based on pricing that nothing's changed. But this chart will show you, and I think we're going to have an absolute repeat of this very soon. Now, it may take 2 years, it may take a year and a half, it may take 3 years, but it does take quite a while for these things to kind of kick in. And like Luke said, the psychology of it to, just for people to just figure it out and then again be able to act on it. So
Yeah, so this looks like it took about 2 years and we're right about here, right? Can you see my arrow, Tom?
Yeah, I would guess we're right in that like
Right?
smooth spot towards that end, 2 years right
And
there.
that the price goes down and the
Yep.
supply is gonna go like this probably, straight up, housing supplies, see that?
Yep. And if any of the other metrics are an indicator of the severity of the move this time, it's going to be a lot worse than this is.
Worse than this one, yeah.
Yeah, way worse than this one in our opinion, you know. And I mean, people like to look at like business cycles and real estate cycles and all of those things, and they are factors, but the bigger factor is this long-term banking cycle, which is usually typically a 100-year cycle, which is kind of what we believe we're going into. And most analysts that we listen to and network with believe the same thing. It seems to be a majority. And so I expect a very similar event to come within the next, probably within the next year, if not sooner. It could be this fall. A lot of people are saying this fall.
Mm-hmm, yeah, or spring.
So I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
But I mean, that really struck me when he showed that chart, a video just a little while ago, and I thought we have to talk about this. Hopefully, we won't get knocked off this time for proprietary use of someone else's material, but we're really just trying to help promote a guy who's. If you haven't listened to Luke Smith at Market Mania, go sign up for him. He puts out a lot of good content, and he's not afraid to call a spade a spade. So,
Yeah.
yeah. British guy turned Canadian, turned Panamanian now, but he still likes to report on Canada because his opinion is, I love Canada. I just hate what's happening to it right now. It's unaffordable.
Yeah.
So he decided to get out. Well, anything else you want to say on the whole real estate thing, hon? No, I think we made our,
That chart today.
yeah, I think we made our point on that. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a great day.